Hello everybody, this is Kenny again with the Natural State Gardener and Homestead. Today, what I'm doing is something that maybe some of you have questions about, what you should do about them. I'm cutting back my azalea bushes. These azaleas are old, they've been here a long time. They've gotten overgrown. I have plans with these to move them back to my creek. I'm gonna move them back into the shade, the woodland gardens back there in the creek. We had a great big oak tree right here, and it was there for years. There was lots of shade here. It was good for them. Azaleas need a certain amount of shade. These have been in blazing sun for years, which hasn't hurt them. They've grown really well, and they've had some spectacular blooms on them. You may have seen some in some other videos. But now that the blooming is over, you can see all the dried up blooms and blossoms that are still here. Now's the time to cut them back. If you cut them back now, you won't be cutting back your buds for next year. Because these things typically by the middle of July, the 1st of August, they've already set their buds for the following year. So now's the time to cut them. Don't be afraid to cut them back. You're not going to hurt them. They say don't typically cut back more than a third. I'm giving these a little harder pruning than that because these I intend on moving, like I said before. And so I'm going to cut them back real hard, and then we're going to, like I say, move them, and I want to fertilize them good. You have to make sure that you fertilize them in good and that you keep them watered. That's the main thing, keep them watered. Especially if we're going to have a dry summer, you really want to keep them watered. But it's been a nice cool spring. We had a long season for azaleas blooming. And so anyway, it's time to move them back. You can see how hard I've cut this one here. This one was the same size, roughly, as this one here. So you can see how hard I've actually cut them back. And they should bounce right back, put buds on, and they'll have flowers on them for next year. Probably won't be as pretty as they were this year. They probably won't be as much. But they sure appreciate a haircut just like anything else. And it gets some of the light into the interior branches, and it kind of helps with that. So what I've taken, the tool you need, don't pay any attention to mine. Mine are all rusted. You know, a lot of yours probably are the same way. But these are just some hand shears, and I've also used some loppers to get some of these bigger things off of here. But Rooster Cogburn approves, and he says hello. But like I say, you know, you just get in here and just start cutting them back. And like I say, don't be afraid to cut them. Don't be afraid at all. And of course, if you're going to keep them in the same spot, you might not want to cut them back as hard as I'm cutting mine back. If you wait until the middle of June, first part of July, especially here in zone 8, 7B, you don't want to cut them any later than that because they've already set their buds for the next year. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and continue to get these cut back, show you how it looks when we're through, and then I've got holes already pre-dug out there in the shade garden for when I get these dug up this afternoon. We'll move them back there, and I'll show you how we put them in the ground. So anyway, subscribe, like, thanks for seeing us, and we'll see you next time.